I have twins. I'll have a double stroller. I'll be like trying to get it in the door of the Starbucks. No one helps
Nobody.
me.
I know.
My husband pushes the twins, knocks over someone's latte, and they're like, "Oh,
You're so sweet."
Okay, so while I have you here, and Julie, I have you here as well. Come on in here, you're hot rapper.
oh my God.
I'm such a huge fan of yours, so when I heard you were here today, so excited to meet you.
Stop it. You pulled out all the stuff for me. I got a little midriff. Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable doing a perch or like a perch on here or whatever makes
That's
you
how I usually sit. So,
but the reason why what I wanted to talk about to you all about is this whole idea of parenthood, motherhood, and surprises, but mostly disappointments.
Oh, wow.
Like, and I know, like, way to take things in a brutal direction, Tracy, but there's a lot about parenting that has been surprisingly lovely, and I didn't think it was going to be so lovely.
Right.
But then there are a few things that's like, oh, and so I'll go first.
Yes.
I thought, I guess because the way I was raised, my parents were the adults and the kids were the kids. And so if I was ever giving my parents problems or had opinions or maybe even had a critique of their parenting like that I would never voice, I didn't really think they cared. I figured they're doing their thing and I'm doing my thing, and we are sort of living on different levels. Now that I'm a parent, and I have, these very vocal, a 14 and 11-year-old who they've got opinions.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got thoughts about the way I parent and the way my husband parents, and they vocalize that. And I sort of thought, even if I got to the point where I had a great relationship with my kids and they told me this stuff, I wouldn't care. I care. I care a lot. It bothers me. It bothers me when I make a mistake as a parent. And I don't know why I felt that I would be above that, but I'm not. Yeah. And I find myself apologizing to my kids.
All the time?
So, yeah. Like just saying, I feel like I handled that really wrong. And I'm sorry.
But I think that's so great to be able to say that to your kids, to be able to admit your flaws, or like sometimes I'll ask my 4-year-olds if I can have a do-over. Like, can we try that again? Mommy maybe raised her voice and I didn't want to. Like, can we try it again?
Yeah,
until they tell you for a do-over. Until they tell you, can we do this over again? The sass comes out, because I get that too.
Oh, God.
Right.
Absolutely. But I think that's okay. I think that shows your kids, no matter how young or old, that you're, as a parent, you make mistakes too.
I'm screwing up. Yeah, and I do. Like, I mean, at some point, I feel like, oh, we're supposed to hang on to some semblance of authority here, aren't we? But it's obvious I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
It's equal respect too, right? I think that's so important, because I grew up in a household where it was equal respect, but it was more, the parents.
You respect the grown up.
Right. Yeah. So I think now it's like a wonderful thing. I feel like my connection with my kids is so much better because of that equal respect.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything that disappoints you that you found sort of surprisingly disappointing about?
The thing that enrages me, and the pandemic has really amplified this, is the double standards in society. So I'm like, I know it's been talked about so much, and that to me, it just enrages me. And it's like, as soon as things start to change, like the pandemic hit, and then it just set us back like so many years. And what I mean about that is what you guys spoke about, like the career. And going off and doing your own thing, but still being a really great mom. Having a supportive partner is really important in that. I'm a single parent, so it just adds another layer. But that to me is like the most disappointing thing, is that people don't understand unless you're a mother. Like, those are the only people I can go to feel like I'm being heard, So that's disappointing to me. But I guess
this whole idea that you should sink your whole life into your kids.
Yes.
And if when men sort of have their own life outside of the kids, it's totally normal. And when we do, it's like, oh, so you're just kind of abandoning them, letting them do their own thing.
And it's even like being like unwell. Like, I'm dealing with like health issues, and it's just like. But when a man is dealing with a health issue, like if they have a sore throat, the friggin' world stops.
They're in the emergency room.
Right. Yeah. But when like I'm like dealing with health issues, we're just expected to just keep going and pick up and just continue, right? Like, even though we're dying.
Yes.
When I had COVID, so many people were like, "So how's it going? Like, are you resting?" I'm like, "Is there COVID for moms?"
No,
So
COVID
is
doesn't
there
exist.
is there sort of like a rest period in COVID for moms?
No, and by the way,
I'm still doing dishes, doing laundry,
Exactly.
still working. I'm still
Exactly.
doing everything.
I have actually had fantasies about getting COVID.
Getting to a hospital.
Because I was like 5 days in isolation.
But you're still working in isolation with the kids.
Right, yeah. So it's not as wonderful as I imagine
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
This too with the double standard about dads, this is like a petty thing that just pisses me off is like I have twins, I'll have a double stroller. I'll be like trying to get it in the door of the Starbucks. No one helps
Nobody.
me.
I know.
My husband pushes the twins, knocks over someone's latte, and they're like, oh, he's
You're so sweet.
Yeah. Oh, what a sweet guy. He's a keeper.
Don't even worry about it. Like, what?
What? Before we wrap up, Jessi, anything that has surprisingly disappointed you about parenting?
First of all, I love this question because I've never been asked it before.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hear.
It's so good.
Oh my God, it's the best thing that's ever happened.
The
to me.
double
And,
standard.
Yeah, there's a double standard, right?
It needs to be amazing.
You know, I would say for me, and this may just be me,
Okay.
but there is no praise, and this piggybacks on what you were saying. There was no praise, there was no celebration, there was not even like a good job for what we do every single day.
Right.
You know, I can go like do a dance on Cityline and I get 100 people telling me what a great job. No one is telling me, great job getting up at 5:30 a.m.,
Right.
breastfeeding your baby, keeping her alive, getting the toddlers breakfast, packing their lunches, getting them out the door.
Right.
That's the hardest thing I do every day.
Right, the grind.
And people just expect that that's what you do, and we should praise you for the other stuff. And honestly,
Right.
I would appreciate more like just every single day, a mom friend, someone just saying like, hey, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Totally. I love it when someone's just like, you know what, you're a really good parent.
Yeah.
That's all I want to
That's
hear.
all I
That's
need.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Or
That's
you're
so
amazing
nice.
for doing
Yes.
all these things and like
Right.
raising your kids and
Yeah.
Sometimes there's like followers. I find your followers are very positive too. I can read like your
Very
comments
they
and
are.
stuff.
Good
And
community.
I feel like that's what I love about Instagram too. Is like you do get that validation from the
Yeah.
people who understand. You know.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jules and Jessi, thank you so much. You're
a
like
joy.
both bomb moms doing it
Thank you.
and like doing it on your own. Like I
You too.
Yes.
bow to you. I bow to
Yeah,
you.
you just
It's
take a
a
minute
lot
to
of it is
say,
on the partner.
You're
so
doing great. You're an amazing mom.
You're
You're doing
great.
great. You're an
Thank you.
amazing
You too.
mom.
Yeah,
You
amazing
too.
mom. Oh my God, so amazing. Thanks, guys.